Hey, and welcome to Anne's Norwegian Knitting. Conversations where knitting meets culture, heart, and history. I'm Anne, and in this podcast, we're going to slow down stitch by stitch to explore the stories, the traditions, and joys that live in our knitting. Sometimes it's going to be just me, other times you will meet Steph, and other times again, I will be joined by friends, colleagues, or special guests. But always, always, always with yarn in hand and curiosity at heart. Thanks for being here. Let's dive into the next episode. Hello, we're back. It's time for another podcast. We've been away for a while. We haven't recorded podcasts for a few weeks now, basically because life has been too busy. But now, Steph and Anne is back in your living room.
Hi.
Good to see you.
It
Can you
feels like the start of a whole new season.
It is, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's 1 year since we did our first podcast. I think it's actually more or less 1 year, to be quite honest,
Really?
because I think we did that.
Happy anniversary to us. That's exciting.
Yes, it is. I think we did it late June or early July. I actually think we did it early July.
Awesome. 1
Yeah.
year.
Or early July now. We're Monday 6th.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah. Because we are recording this on Monday 6th. And if I look a bit tired today, it's basically because I was watching Norway playing Brazil in the World Championship football yesterday. And yes, I'm a football fan. Can't help it. And yes, we did win. But you know that we are the only team in the world who's ever played Brazil and never lost.
I did know that because the TV kept saying it over and over.
Did that?
Yeah, prime coverage here. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, this is not a football podcast, but I just cannot help myself on a day like this.
I think everybody in the U.S. is also rooting for Norway because everybody loves the row.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the row.
I made a reel about that. I have resisted and resisted. That was morning I just not do this. So I made a reel with one more row, and then you see the Norwegian fans rowing, and then another row, me knitting, and then more
Rowing.
Yeah. Because one row is, and a two row in English spells the same way as one row, right? But in Norwegian it doesn't. But the word game works with in English, not in Norwegian. No, because in Norwegian, one row, rad, or in knitting, omgang, while two row is to ro, R-O. Yeah. But when you row about, we row about. When we knit a row, we knit one omgang.
Oh,
same word.
all times.
Yes. Yeah. So there are some links there, but the point is that I'm a football fan. You guys know I love knitting, but I love football as well. Some of you might say it's called soccer. No, it's not. It's called football.
Okay, so here's the question. Does your knitting change when you're watching football? Or soccer?
Not really. Because it depends on what I'm doing. And right now I'm working on this lice piece. I didn't mean to knit as much. Why? I end up getting so engaged in the football that I forget to knit.
Yeah. You don't tighten up. When I get excited like that, my knitting tightens up, and then I end up having to rip out rows.
Yeah. I end up just not knitting because I know it messes up my knitting because I get too absorbed in the football. I can watch all kinds of programs or listen to all kinds of programs, but the football you have to watch, right?
Yeah.
Apart from the last 15 minutes in every Norwegian game, then I'm walking out in the garden because I can't watch, I can't knit, I can't just have to. And especially if we are in the lead and we are under pressure from the opponent to even out or something, The walking happens outdoors. I go out that door and then into the garden, and then I'll do the walking until I hear that, oh, it's done. And I keep running every time there is a sound, obviously, but I can't watch it. So there we go. Anyway, we are not going to talk about football, believe it or not.
We actually have a purpose today.
We're
Talking about Wool Month.
Wool Month, which is almost as exciting. It is as exciting right now. Well, soccer and football is taking a bit bigger priority, but at the same time, we're working on Wool Month. Wool Month is fun.
This month, it's August. And it's a lot of things in August this year.
Yeah, it is. It is. I keep calling it Wool Month, but it's actually called, because it's a long name, its real name is Norwegian Wool Month. That was because
It's the original.
Yeah, it still is. But as soon as people have been introduced, then Wool Month. Because it's Norwegian Wool Month is a mouthful. Wool Month is much shorter, right?
Easier flow. How did you come up with Wool Month? Norway.
Yeah, no, this is that story. How long do we have?
We have all day.
Yeah, do you want the whole story?
I do.
Yeah. So this year here is the 4th time we do it. I'm actually quite proud of that, because Norwegian Wool Month to me sounds something that someone else is hosting, someone big, but it's little Anne in Norway. Not that little. Everyone who just went to Norway know that I'm not little. They were all like, "You're tall, Anne." Yes, I know. I'm wide. I'm big. But anyway, what happened was that in the summer, in June 2023, I started the Great Experience in December 2022. The Great Experience is the program that we today call the Northern Lights. When I started that, I promised everyone who signed up that they would get a level 3 course that was exclusive for the Northern Light membership. I'm going to call it that, even though it was called the Great Experience back then. And I was in June that summer, I was planning. I had 2 plans. One was that I was going to go north up to Trondheim for the summer, drive up as a road trip kind of thing for the summer, because I wanted to see that area, going from outside Oslo where I live and driving all the way up, stop in places and have a good time. So that was on my agenda. And then I also was planning to release the level 3 course and cardigan in the autumn. So what happened was that I got this brilliant idea, because I make that level 3. We make that from yarn from Hillesvåg, and I had been the year before. I'd been to Hillesvåg to visit. I went to Bergen, and then I asked them if I could come and visit their mill, and they welcomed me with open arms. And Øyvind, one of the owners, took me on a guided tour, and it was like I was totally and utterly hooked. Brought back a lot of yarn, sent them an email saying that I need more yarn. Can you send me this? And then they sent me the yarn for the cardigan. That's just to be transparent around this. I'm paying for all my yarns. And that is the Hillesvåg yarn. And I do get a small discount on the Selby, but I'm paying for all my Hillesvåg yarn today, full price, because I want to be independent. I don't want to. And that's important to me. And that is also important when it comes to Wool Month, because it gives you a bit of background to it. But that yarn for that cardigan I got for free. And I'm forever grateful for that, because that set off something, that a ball started rolling and it never stopped. So what happened was, that is a yarn that most people, since I'm working and targeting the North American countries, continent, basically, not, as I said, not excluding any Europeans, but that's where the focus has been up until now. I thought I need to teach people about this yarn. because they need to know about it. And also I thought I need to do this in a way so that I can get more people to sign up for the Northern Light program. So I need to find something that gives them value and give them information and knowledge, and at the same time, maybe make them understand that they really want to join us on something else more. Because let's be fair, everyone who's doing a business, to get your attention, we need to do something to grab your attention. And the attention is very often something that is free or very low cost. I'm doing some marketing teaching here, and with my idea here is that because I've been trained in the same way of thinking, you give away something and then you offer them to move on into something more if they want to. If they don't want to, fine, but if they want to, here it is. And I thought, okay, what if I do something in August where I focus about Norwegian wool in general? I ask Hillesvåg if they want to come in and present their mill and their yarns so that people get to know them, and asked the designer if she could come in and talk about Norwegian knitting traditions. And she said yes. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to Trondheim. Why don't I ask Selbu Spinnery if I can come and see them? And at this point, I didn't know Selbu Spinnery and their yarns.
Oh.
At all. I just knew about them, but I didn't know anything. I never knit, nothing. So I sent a message and saying, hey, I'm planning this thing, and this has said yes, and this has said yes. Do you want to be the third external presenter? I'm going to do something as well, but it's going to be a month where we spread out the gospel on Norwegian wool kind of thing. And then they immediately said, yes, we would love that. And then I said, I'm coming to Trondheim in a couple of weeks. Would you be open to having me come and see you? And they said, yes, that would be lovely. No. That was the biggest mistake I ever did, or maybe not, maybe the smartest thing I ever did. I got hooked on their yarns, and since then, we've done so much together. They showed up and I love their yarns. I love their mill. I love them. I met them up there. They showed up for the presentation, and they were absolutely awesome, and people loved them and they wanted their yarns. And all of a sudden, we had to find out how do we send their yarns to the US and to Canada. And then Suzanne all of a sudden had their yarns in her shop, which at that point was really new. It was just a few months old. So that was actually the beginning. I wanted it was a mixture of how can I get the attention of people, and how can I at the same time talk about the wonderful wools and yarns that I'm using, because I at that point had already gone down that and decided that I want to work with Norwegian wool. I do work with a British manufactured wool as well, but that's my big things are Norwegian wool. And then I thought, okay, if we do this, what are we going to call it? And I don't know. It probably could have been more inventive in the name, but it ended up with, I thought, okay, we are talking about wool and yarns, but no, the yarns that come from Norwegian sheep and wool, and it's Norwegian, and we're going to do this over 3.5 weeks. That's almost a month. Let's call it Norwegian Wool. That was the start.
Well, yeah, the name says it all. So I don't know if I'd change the name.
Now it's settled. I don't think I can change it now. And it is, I have some visions for this. Not that I'm going to expand on that now, but I think Norwegian Wool Month is appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are focusing on Norwegian wool and the qualities of Norwegian wool and Norwegian knitting. And the idea here was that this was going to be a free event, and I wanted it to be really a free event where people felt that they got. I keep saying this, but when I give away stuff, I want it to be of real value to people. Yeah. And not just me pretending to be nice. Because I tell you, there's lots of work behind all of this.
There's a ton of work behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens during Wool Month this year?
What does not happen? Yeah. No, it's busy. This year is busy. We start on August 5th. There are some welcome calls. We're also releasing the Wool Month pattern because we have a Wool Month pattern because we have, yes, it's a free event, but we have a paid version to it as well. And that the upgrade version, as we call it, I used to call it VIP. I'm not a big fan of VIP, but an upgraded version of it is given inside the Mountain Journey, which is a membership of them, and they get a pattern every year. And that one is available during Wool Month only. So if you become a member in September, it's gone. You have to download it, and then that is every year is available for 1 month only. So if you're a member before or after, you don't get it. But if you remember that period, then you get it.
Then you get it. Yep.
Yeah. So that one is released on the 5th. So we have a general welcome call to everyone on that day, but we also have then a close call in the mountain where we go through the pattern and I show them talk about some pitfalls and stuff around it. Then there's we do have the next on the 6th we're gonna have a panel with people from the mountain so that people can sit in and talk. We're gonna have a conversation with people, members in the mountain, where we talk about what it's like being on the inside, which is relevant for those who are sitting there on the fence thinking, should I go for the upgrade version? Should I not? Because they give you a fair account of what is actually happening on the inside, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then on the 12th, I think the next thing is happening on the 12th, and that is a seminar. I can't remember whether it is. Is it Selbu? Yes, it's Selbu. And what we do, and then later we have another one with another seminar, a completely new one that never been with us before. That's Lofoten Wool. What we do during those sessions and also during the sessions, because you and I are going to do a surprise session, we have a little surprise for you guys, and I don't think you want to miss that one either. I am going to do a guided tour through the Hillesvåg mill, and I'm also going to talk about my favorite yarns from there. I'm also going to give you a quick introduction to Fair Isle knitting versus Norwegian knitting because they are not the same. And all this is, most of these sessions the presentations happens in public and are streamed to our YouTube channel, but also to the page that we have set up for the event, and everyone who sign up get access to that one. But after the public sessions, we go into the northern line, into the mountain, and then we have Q&As with all the presenters where we have Zoom calls, and you are taken down on the stage and you get to talk to them and then ask all those nitty-bitty, gritty questions that you find yourself having when they present. And that's really, this is the 4th time we're doing this. So we've done it 3 times. And I know for sure, I can say that, and this is not me assuming, I know that people really love those sessions.
Video.
Yeah.
And we should say that they're recorded, right? So if somebody signs up with you, it's recorded. They can watch later if they're, I don't know, at work, busy during that time.
Absolutely. And this is the thing, because we have people during Wool Month, we have people from around the globe, from Japan, from Australia, New Zealand, India, South Africa, Europe, America, South America, North America. We have people from everywhere, and there are 24 time zones. So it's impossible to make accommodations to be able to do this live for everyone. So what we're doing is that we are recording this, and you have access to the recording for a certain number of days. And then we take it down. And then if you are in the mountain, you will have access to all the recording for the next year or so.
Yeah. Yeah. Selbu Spinnery has been one of the speakers every single time you've had Wool Month. Do they give the same information every time?
No, they don't. And this is what is so fun about this, because they've made 2 different ones. And then I tell them, use the one that you didn't use last year. And they have 2 different focus. Some of it is going to be the same, but then they're not the same in a way. And the same goes with Anne doing Fair Isle versus Norwegian knitting. When I do the Hillesvåg tour, it's same as last year, but it's never going to be the same.
Excuse me. Sorry.
You're welcome. What do you say? We say prosett. Bless you. That's what you say. No, and with Selbu, they actually have 2 different presentations. And again, even though if they present something this year that they presented 2 years ago, one is not going to be the same because there's new stuff that has stuck to your brain for some reason, so that when you present, you always do tweaks to it. Being on those calls, it's like reading a book for the second time or watching a film for the second time. You will always find details that you missed in the first run, right? And same with these. They are supposed to be, every second year is supposed to be the same, but I can assure you, there is stuff there that they will tell you this year that I told you 2 years ago. And then you are going to say, I never heard that, even though I was there 2 years ago. And then they're going to look at you and they're going to say, we did say that 2 years ago. But
I get something new every time from them.
yeah,
They're
exactly.
so interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. And they're so interesting, and their personalities and the way they do their business and the way they conduct everything in their business is like, they're such, what do you call it? Such good examples on how to create something sustainable and be nice and create something new, and also pass on old traditions and old knowledge to new generations. To me, they encompass everything that I think is wonderful about Norwegian Wool, and also what I think is wonderful about personalities and how to do business. Yeah. They are just so wonderful. And it's so funny because you went there during we had this in-person retreat a couple of weeks ago, for those of you who missed out on that. I think I'm talking about that. I talk about that every day. You hear me repeating myself. Be patient. And we went there to visit them. And the feedback is, people are like, after having been there, I feel like I like them even more. I thought I couldn't, but I like them even more. And all I want to do is to support them and buy their yarns and knit with their yarns. And I'm like, yeah, I know. They are.
They're lovely.
Yeah.
So I thought they were very important before I even knew you, because they had created a yarn to be exactly like the historic yarns. People who had spun them themselves got it. And they worked so hard to perfect that. And it's obvious in their old, what do they call it? Old.
Gammel Selbu.
Gammel Selbu. Yes, it's beautiful. But then you listen to them and they're talking about the heritage breeds and what they're doing to help the heritage breeds. And then to see, they talked about releasing the sheep into the mountains for the summer and how that works, and how just keeping the breeds going and keeping the sheep going made them even more important in my eyes. That they do such a beautiful job with heritage, and then they've got all the new stuff, the plant dyed stuff that we saw that was pretty exciting. And they just do beautiful work, and it's so conscious effort on their part to make it's not just a dollar sign, it's for them, it's a
Exactly. And that's what I mean when I say sustainable business, because they are doing this obviously they are working on it, so they need to make a living, enough to make a living out of it, right? But they're not doing it primarily for the money. They're doing it because they want to preserve all the knowledge and to pass on the knowledge, and also preserve the old heritage breeds and make sure that we don't lose out of our history, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just put such a conscious effort into everything.
Yes, it's so deliberate, everything they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really think that, and it's a teeny, teeny little spinnery, and they're so important in
Mm.
my eyes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And that's why I keep asking them coming back, because yes, they are beautiful people, but also their values and what they do is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh.
this year you're adding Lufotens. Tell me, why did you add them?
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like I've been looking for, I thought, because we had last year, we had Stormdal Stormdal Ull, Storm Valley Wool, as we call them in English, in our community coming in, which was a huge hit.
Yeah, they were great.
And I was thinking that I was going to ask them coming back this year, but then I decided to save them for something bigger and even better in
Yeah.
February next year. So we are working together on that. And then I thought, okay, I need to find someone else. And I want to introduce someone new. So I went to, we have the Husfliden has a, what you call that in Husfliden in English?
There is no.
It's a crafting association, a national crafting association, extremely serious stuff, but also important. They are really filling a really important role in the Norwegian crafting history and traditions and modern. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have this site, and I went in and they show all the Norwegian wool manufacturers using Norwegian wool. Yeah. And I am all, I keep saying that there is success for everyone. And there is. There's so much success out there. It's just a matter of, so don't ever feel threatened by anyone. But that's a digression. But at the same time, I also feel that it's important to lift other small businesses, support women. No offense to men, but it's important to support female entrepreneurs, because the numbers show you that they need to be lifted a bit because they are struggling more than the men, just the way it is. But also, I also want to support the smaller businesses having and not having. I am a small business myself. We are growing, yes, but this is a small business. And I know how much support means, having support from others. So I thought, okay, let's go for the smaller ones. So I went down the list, and I've been having an eye on this company for a while, I must admit. I have never used their yarns, but I've been looking at them and following along, and I feel that there are some stuff going on here, some values and traditions, and that I can advocate for. So I thought, okay, send them an email and ask. And they said yes, immediately. They wanted to do that. So they are doing that. So I have ordered yarn. So it's coming either today, tomorrow, or no, it's coming either on Wednesday or on Thursday. Because obviously I need to test their yarn before we go into Wool Month. I'm fairly sure it's going to be up to my expectations, probably beyond. So there you go. So I'm looking forward to that. So Lofoten this is the thing. I'm in Oslo. I'm outside of Oslo, which is they call it east. So it's not south, but it's south. Yeah. And then you have Hillesvåg is, if you go from Oslo over the mountains to the west coast, you find Hillesvåg in Bergen. And then if you follow the coast up to Trondheim, you find Selbu outside of Selbu, and then go a bit north up to Nordland, which is another county, you find Stormdal Ull, 5 hours drive or something, maybe 6, I don't know, maybe 4, depending on how fast people drive. You find Stormdal Wool from last year, and if you go on for a few more hours, you come up to Tromsø, and outside of Tromsø, you find an area, a row of islands, and it's called Lofoten, that area, going out from the mainland.
So the spinnery's on an island?
I'm not quite sure. I think maybe I don't know. I think they are on the mainland. I need to do something. I should have done this, but they're doing football. Yeah. But they call Lofoten Wool, and they are up there in the Lofoten area. So they are, I think they might be on an island, actually. They have some really cool pictures. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Cool. Yeah. And you're going to talk about Hillesvåg again?
I'm going to talk about Hillsong again, and that's basically because I use that yarn so much, so I find it really a good opportunity to talk about that yarn.
Yeah. So you talked briefly about the patterns that come out every year. You want to show past patterns and maybe this year's?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah, that again was just a whimsical idea. I went to see Selbu, bought yarn, thought, okay, let's make a pattern for the wool month. I went to see them in early July or late June. I can't remember. And I thought, okay, let's make a pattern based on, and I wanted to use the old Selbu, the gammel Selbu yarn, the one that was made to be as close to the old yarns as possible. And obviously, for those of you who don't know me, I use my mountain rose, and you see the rose on all the stuff behind me there. Like everything. I just not create anything without that. I cannot create without that included. So I thought,
It's your signature.
yeah, yes, it is. So what I did was that I did that, and then I went, okay, I thought what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna use the old silver patterns and look at them and the motifs and let that inspire me to make a fingerless mitt, because that means that if you have 2 balls of yarn, you have enough for a pair. Yeah. So what I did was that I sat down and I created this fingerless mitts, and everything in this mitts, apart from the rose, are inspired by the silver mittens. And it looks like this on the front and this on the back. And I made one, this is in the old Selbu, and I made another one in the Hillesvåg yarn as well. So they had 2 colors and they are, yeah. But the idea here was that I wanted to, and I also put the year on it, right? And then I had the rose, and then these here were actually ram's horn that had to be adapted because I needed this to work out in a way. And then on the back, we had this, and then you had the leaves going here. And then I thought these chevrons were really nice. Having said, they were supposed to be on the male cuff, weren't they? Because the female cuff were
female.
Yeah, they are?
After you and I talked one time. Yep, they are female.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's cool then. It's the one with the patterns on that are the male ones, right?
Female. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that was the beginning. So I did this the first year, and then this was in 2023. And then in 2024, I decided to make a cowl. And again, I wanted to use the same yarn, the old Selbu, the gammel Selbu, but also make a version but at the same time make a version with the, oh goodness, Hillesvåg yarn, right? So what I did was that I'm going to see if I can find it, was that what I did was as follows. That my problem is that I have too much going on. But you know that, right?
I do know that.
Yeah.
I've seen your computer tabs with a bazillion open.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's good or bad, this thing, but yeah, I can't help myself. I really cannot help myself. Which I broke the, but guys, I cannot find it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna share. I found one of them. I'm gonna share this one soon. Not soon. Where is? We are share screen. Image file. Share screen. Why is it that I end up having to look through everything every time? Because I got too much stuff open, right? This one.
Yes.
Yeah. Looks like a bandit, but that's me. And in this one, what you'll see is that I'm gonna show you another one. Stop sharing. I made this one. The one that you saw is made out of the old Selby, and then I made another version with colors that are changing in browns and greens in the
feel like
Hillsborough. And
like a
then I made this one.
that's pretty.
Yeah, and that one is made with Hillsborough base, and it's actually an American Montana Dreams.
Oh, Montana Dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in color work. So that is just a variegated yarn. But you see, again, 2024. And if you look at this, I
Oh,
have,
Rand's horns are both in there.
yes,
Nice.
and the
Oh,
leaf,
the leaves in between the numbers.
yes,
Oh, I hadn't
cool.
noticed before. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. And then what happened was that last year I asked you, what should we make for Wool Month?
And I
And
said,
you, socks.
we haven't done socks before. Yeah.
I did. I tried everything
I
I
think
could.
that was your face when I said it too.
Yeah, I'm not the sock knitterer. I'm sorry for everyone who is. And I was like, I did everything I could to get out of this, but I ended up making socks. And what we did was that we put the year at the back.
They are cute.
Yeah, they are. And then we have the flowers, now the leaves.
Carries through.
Yeah, on the front, there are only roses, but at the back.
Oh, perfect.
So last year I did one in
Purple.
yay, Selby yarn. And it's purple, not because of me, but because of that woman on the and
I
then
love
I one with mountain with Selbu and the mountain Montana Dreams.
Oh, that looks
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. And then this one in Hillesvåg. And this one is much bigger because it's mine. I got big bit. So then we thought, okay, what are we gonna do this year? And we decided to do a hat.
Yes.
So what I did was that I made a hat pattern that fits into this here. And then something happened. Because my brain sometimes it works in mysterious ways. Then I thought, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do a hat. Because this summer, if you have missed out on this summer, we are all into Setesdal knitting. So it's Mountain Rose meets Setesdal kind of thing going on starting this week. We have already introduced a few things with the podcast and everything, but with the patterns are coming out this week, late July, and in September. And a hat during Wool Month, which is going to fit into that line. Because I thought we not utilize this. We are making a small group of patterns, a set of patterns with that motif, and we need that hat needs to be going into that. So that hat pattern for Wool Month that is made to fit this one is probably going to come next year or the year after. But this year we are doing, this is one hat. This is the hat actually. And it got the year, but the year is, it's mirrored, isn't it? Do you see this the right way?
Yep. Yep. No, I see it the right way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it's mirrored. So this is the, what it's not supposed to be in the front, but that's just right now. And then you have the pattern here, which is meant to fit. There you go. And now this one is in the Hillesvåg yarn. And then we are doing, currently, I'm waiting for yarn from Lofoten. So I will make one of those. And I'm currently working on one in Selby yarn. This is a yarn I have. This is not old Selby. This is Gimre.
Gimra. Oh, and how are you liking it?
This is the first time I'm using it, and I like it.
Yeah.
I do. I do the old Selby, the Gammel Selby, because of the rusticness to it. And I really like that with, for example, when we did the, because it creates another layer to the garment. I think it does require a bit of more attention and maybe a bit more skill from your knitting to make sure that it becomes even. But when we made this cardigan, because this cardigan is made of that yarn, I made that in the old silver, and I love how it came out. It is uneven because it is rustic and is old and all that. This one is much more even.
Yes. Yep. I
Um,
would totally agree.
yeah, and to me also, it's slightly thicker. Yeah, it feels slightly thicker. Might just be me imagining things, but
No, it's thicker.
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But I like it. I really do. I like it. So there we go. And then I'm going to make one. I'm getting 5 different colors from Lofoten Wool this week, as I said, and I'm going to have to decide what colors to make. I don't think that one is
That's
going to
gonna
be
be hard.
blue.
You
No,
don't think it's
no, I ordered green, blues, off-whites, and yellows. So we'll see what we end up with.
really you ordered those colors? What
Yeah.
a surprise.
Yeah, what a surprise, right?
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what other events are happening this year in Wool Month? Back to Wool Month.
What we do is that we do also do some panels from we are Wool Month. I'm completely honest about this, and as I said at the beginning, I want to be really transparent about this. I'm doing this to get your attention, and some of you are happy with what you get and wait until next year. Some of you would want more. Some of you would want a little more. Some of you would want a lot more. And a lot more is a Northern Lights program, which is a 12-month deep dive program. And we are doing a panel there because before people do something like that, they would like to know what is this about. So we're doing a panel there as well, where we have people that are members. Some are fairly new, some has been there for years. One of the members are probably in their 5th year or 4th year, about to start their 5th. So and that's to give you a picture and an idea and maybe tempt you, or maybe make you jump down from the fence if you've been thinking about this for some time, to join us. Very often the level 3 cardigan is a big pull because people want to knit that cardigan, and that's a very particular cardigan. I'm not going to go into details about that now. We might do a podcast about that, actually. That could be. But the only way to get that is in the Northern Lights. So we do that panel, because of that. People would like to know a bit more before they sign up to something as comprehensive as that, because it is a comprehensive year with a complete deep dive, and it's a 12-month program. It's 12 months and nothing. So we do that, and we're also going to do a one for those who want to maybe start with a course, because we also do level 2 live teaching in the autumn. For the 2nd year in a row, we're doing that because until you came on board, Steph, I didn't have the capacity, so I did it once a year. Now we're doing it twice a year in the autumn. And some people might want to do that first and then join the Northern Light, or join the Northern Light and do that, start there. So we're doing a panel for that as well. And that panel is also going to talk about the level 1, because we have a level 1 course, which is a self-study course. We do teach it live in January. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say spring, but
yeah,
but
yeah, exactly. But you can January, February, but you can get it whenever you want and do it at your own pace. It's a dripped out course, so you get 1 module a week. And then people say, if it's self-paced, why 1 module a week? Because studies tell everyone that if you get the whole thing right away, you are not going to do it. If it's dripped out, the chances of you actually doing all the steps are much bigger.
yeah, not so overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have 1 module and you can do that. You have 1 week to do it. And most people don't get everything done in 1 week, but that gets you going. And then you're getting another module every week. So that panel is going to be talking about what people's experiences with those two courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if people sign up for Wool Month, there is, like you said, there's one little surprise one that you and I are doing together.
Yeah. And I'm going to keep that as a prize, actually.
Yeah. It's a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. What we can say, it's all about the historical knitting, because we are really into that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's giving you some more of that. Yep.
Sum up, this is a free month. People still have to sign up in order to get the links, but it's free. And
Yes, you have to sign up. Yeah, you have to sign up, but it's free, and it is definitely going to, if this is the first time, you're going to feel that you're getting so much new information, but it's going to be fun, enlightening, maybe widen your horizon, and you're going to get to know about those beautiful Norwegian yarns. That being said, I know there are beautiful yarns from other places in the world, but I'm an advocate for the Norwegian yarns, so there you go.
It is Anne's Norwegian knitting.
After all.
Yeah. And you get a taste of our community too.
Yes, you do. So it's to do, what do you call it? To get two flies with one smack. That's what we say in Norwegian.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't kill birds in Norway, but we do kill the flies. Anyway, so there you go. I think that's it. If you guys there's going to be a link underneath there. Make sure you sign up for Wool Month. If this is after Wool Month has closed, then you're going to get to a waiting list for next year. So just sign up, and then you are first in line when we open up next year. Use the comments. I do check out the comments at least a couple of weeks after we have released the patterns. And if you're enjoying this, make sure that you click on that follow button and click a like underneath here so we get the thumbs up. We like that.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, as always, thanks for coming, and thanks, Steph, for joining me again. Why do I say thanks? This is our thing. We do this together, right?
We are Batman and Robin.
Yeah, we are. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for spending this time with us here on Anne's Norwegian Knitting, conversations where knitting meets culture, heart, and history. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love for you to share it with a fellow knitter or leave a note to let us know what you think. If you want to know more about Anne's Norwegian Knitting, go to annesnorwegianknitting.com and check it out. Until next time, may your stitches be steady, your yarn untangled, and your heart full. See you in the next episode.